Hello everyone, welcome to my little vlog. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some super easy, two different kinds of fruit bowls. And they're really easy and really fun and they look really nice. And so I'm going to show you. So the first thing I'm starting with is getting all my fruit prepared. So first I'm starting off with a banana. And I started off by just cutting this in really thin slices, or as thin as I could get. Some of them were like really, really thin. And I decided to use the entire banana. Sometimes you can use half or like a third of it. It's all up to you. It's whatever and however you want to make it. Okay, so now that we're done cutting the banana, we're going to move it over. Those almost just fell, but it's okay, we caught them. And now we're going to move on with our apple. And so I just cut this apple 4 ways. I could have cut it a lot better, but it was okay because I didn't really want to use that much. So it's alright. We just cut it like this. So I start by slicing them long ways, and then I turn it, and then I slice it again, and so they make like little cube apples pieces. I don't know, they're like really tiny bite-sized pieces of apple, and I just continue doing this with the rest of the 3 slices. Can we just take a moment and appreciate the beautiful art design on my hand? I have a smiley face on my, I think that's a smiley face. Looks like it. And then a little marshmallow on my finger. I don't know. They're cute though. So now that I'm done cutting the apple, I was just showing you guys kind of like the extra apple that I could have gotten off the core, but it's okay. Okay, so now I've got some grapes and I'm making sure that all the stems are off of them and they're clean, and I started slicing these in half. Sometimes I slice them in fourths, but I decided today that I'll just do halves. Now that we have our bananas, apples, and grapes, we're now going to move on to our strawberries. This just looks so cute and colorful, but I kind of just bunched them up like that, I guess. I don't really know why. But I took all the strawberries and I just sliced them up in little rounds. You can take the rounds and cut them in half circles, but whatever your preference is will work either way. Once I finished the strawberries, I cleaned up the board a little bit so the camera kind of shifted, but it's okay. So I have this mango, and I've never really cut or like messed with mangoes before, and I was like, okay, we're gonna give it a shot. I've seen YouTube videos on how to do it, so I was like, I'm gonna be a pro at it. It's gonna be so easy. I quickly learned that it was not as easy as I thought. I kept hitting the seed that's in the middle of the mango, and so I was having like a little bit of trouble cutting it, and I was like, okay, well, now we have this really big middle piece that I will just deal with later. So I began cutting little lines going down, and then I turned it and did the same thing, and then we had like little squares, or they're more like rectangles, but we had like little things, and then I kind of just like outlined the outside because for some reason I thought it'd make it easier when I were to scoop them out, but I learned that that didn't really help. So then I took a spoon and I tried to like scoop everything out, and it was kind of working, but then I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do the little pop thing, and I thought that was cool. And then I went back to scooping and tried to get as much as I could out. I would say this part is probably dangerous, but I kind of just took a knife and cut away the rest because I was getting kind of tired of it, and I still had another one to go. So I was like, let me just cut it out. Probably don't try this at home, but it's probably not the best way to do it. So this is me doing the second half of the mango, or second third, I guess. I sped this up because it took me a long time, and at one point I started picking them out, but it wasn't really working very well. So I went back to scooping with the knife. Again, very dangerous. Don't try it. So after I did that, I realized that I had a whole nother piece to go, and I decided that I wasn't going to add it to the current pile that I had. So I just found a home for the middle pieces and decided that that was enough mango for our yogurt bowls. So I got me this cute little taller, this is like a taller bowl. This bowl I'm going to use for the layered yogurt bowl. So this one's going to have like different layers and different levels. I did not realize that I was showing this upside down, but the yogurt that I use is HEB vanilla Greek yogurt with like a vanilla flavoring, I guess. It's pretty good. I like it, and I always use it, but you can always use what you prefer. So I just started to make like a little bottom layer of yogurt. I didn't measure it. You can measure it, but I kind of just eyeball it and hope for the best. And then I put my bananas in, and I kind of like neatly layered them, kind of like barely laying across each other, but just enough to cover up the yogurt. Then I added more yogurt on top of that, and I added my grapes as the second layer. And then I decided with the grapes I should add strawberries. So I now have banana and then strawberry and grapes. And then now I just cover that layer. And I only did a little bit because now we're working with like a lot of yogurt. So I just made thin layers from now on. And then I added my apple pieces. And then I tossed in my mango chunks. And then I use these chia seeds. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but they make it look really cute and pretty. And so I always just throw those in there. They're good for you too. But I normally just use them for like decoration because I think they just stand out a lot more. So this is the final product. We have a layered yogurt bowl. It has all these cute layers, and if you mix it, it's the best because you can get a little bit of everything in one bite and not just go by the layers. But if you want to go by the layers, it's all up to you. This is what it looks like mixed, and it's pretty good. So my go-to little yogurt bowl is a yogurt bowl with everything at the top and it's not layered. So with this, I take a smaller bowl, not as deep, it's more wide, and I kind of just cover up the bottom. You're gonna need like more than that, of course, but I like to feel like I'm decorating a cake, so I always just make sure the bottom is pretty much covered. And then from here on out, it's just a fun little decorating game. So I started with my bananas and I kind of just layered them, leaned them against each other, and went out towards the middle. And then I did the same thing with the strawberries, kind of had them leaning against each other and then going in towards the middle. Then I went in with my mangoes and started, well, I was trying to go for like a little extended middle thing, but I decided it wasn't really going to work out. So I kind of just placed them however. Then I did my grapes next to my bananas, and I just did the same thing as I did with the strawberries and the bananas. And then I put apple chunks next to the grapes. And they're kind of stuck together, so I was pulling them apart, trying to make it look all nice and pretty. Then I took some walnuts and I realized, hey, let's make sure the camera can read the right way and not upside down like I did the yogurt. But I just took some of those and I decided to put them in the middle to make it look real nice and balanced. With this recipe, it's really fun to just decorate and make it look nice, and it's like one of the key things to do when making this. Just make it look pretty. So then I moved in with some chia seeds and kind of did a little sprinkle of that. And then I took some honey. It's the Texas wildflower one from HEB. And then I just drizzled that over everything. Gives it a nice little sweet taste. This is the final one. It looks really good and it tastes just as good as it looks. It's very nice, very pretty, very organized, and it's fun to make because it's like decorating a food and then you get to eat it. So I start mixing it because the best bite is getting a little bit of everything in one. And I know it's sad when it all goes away, but as long as you get that picture, it's all that matters. If you guys enjoyed this recipe,